Hi, my name is Dr. Darren Schmidt at the Nutritional Healing Center of Ann Arbor, and this topic is about lactic acidosis. So, lactic acidosis is a condition that a lot of people are suffering from, and it causes a lot of different symptoms, and I'm going to have many videos on this subject. But when you go to the hospital and they look for lactic acidosis in a blood test and they find it, they only use it as an indicator that something else bad is going on. Then they look for uh, cyanide poisoning, alcohol poisoning, diabetic ketoacidosis, which means uncontrolled diabetes, or they'll look for kidney failure, and there's a couple others. But what they don't ever look for, what they don't ever find, is the nutritional cause of the most common lactic acidosis scenarios. And the nutritional cause will be, I'm going to explain it right now. So it's caused by 24 B vitamin deficiency. So there's 24 B vitamins that exist. And when you go to the health food store and you go get a B vitamin complex, there's B1, 2, sometimes 3, 5, 6, and 12. So it could have 7 B vitamins in it, maybe 9. But you never get a B vitamin with 24 B vitamins in it because a lot of B vitamins have not been studied, and some have even been banned. So here's the biochemistry that goes on inside the body. So when your body's burning sugar for fuel, that sugar has to be broken down into other chemicals before it enters the cell to be used as a fuel. And some of the names are pyruvate and acetyl-CoA. Those are the nutrients that the cell uses from the sugar to make energy. Well, there's a waste product in this process, and that waste product is lactic acid. Now, lactic acid is acidic. It's got a low pH, and so some doctors may say your body's too acidic. They're actually talking about the blood. So the lactic acid then gets converted by the liver back into sugar. So you have this cycle. It was discovered in 1947. The cycle was discovered in 1947 by a husband and wife team named Doctors Corey. So it's called the Corey cycle. So if you don't have enough B vitamins, maybe because of your poor diet, or if you've been really stressed out, your nervous system can soak up all the B vitamins, and then your liver is deficient in B vitamins. And if that happens, then this conversion doesn't happen, and you get a buildup of lactic acid in the blood. The liver's not cleaning lactic acid out of the blood. So here's the next thing that happens. So you end up with too much lactic acid in the blood relative to oxygen. You have decrease in oxygen in comparison to lactic acid, and that makes the arteries dilate. When the arteries dilate, that includes the capillaries. 75% of the arteries in your body are capillaries. They're teeny tiny, and there's beds of capillaries where oxygen gets transferred from the blood to the cells, and then waste from the cells gets transferred back into the blood. So when the arteries dilate and the capillaries dilate, you get capillary engorgement. So those beds of capillaries are engorged. You have a stagnation of circulation. The circulation slows down because the arteries are bigger. There's more volume of space for the blood to flow through. And then you have a decreased cell respiration. The oxygen and the waste products don't get transferred. And then you get cell death. So lactic acidosis causes cell death. Now, the cell death can be in just some parts of the body. If you're experiencing lactic acidosis in the brain, then you get symptoms of brain problems. You get depression, bipolar, negative thoughts, OCD, violent thoughts, grief, chronic grief, worry, doubt, anxiety. I've seen it all. I've seen all this in my patients. If you get cell death in the muscles, you get for men, they get heart problems. Women have estrogen, so they're protected from heart problems, but their muscles that get affected are the shoulder muscles, the back of the neck, the like fibromyalgia type symptoms. If you get cell death in the stomach, you get gastritis, you lose your appetite. And the list goes on and on. So this is a huge major cause of disease and symptoms, and it's completely not addressed by anybody that I know of in the country. And I know a lot of people in the country. I've taught 3,500 people over 8 years. And but the reason why I know this is because I experienced this myself. I started 2 new companies in early 2015, and by fall of 2015, I was completely stressed out. I had depleted my B vitamins from because my nervous system needed it, and my liver became deficient in the B vitamins, and I had a buildup of lactic acid. And over the course of October, November, December, and January, I had these symptoms, and then I figured it out. I figured out the solution in January, and 3 months after that, I was basically back to normal. In the meantime, I've helped over 30 people get rid of multiple symptoms. So I'm going to do a lot of videos on different symptoms that are all caused by lactic acidosis. So here's the primer. This is the main the mechanism of as to how lactic acidosis works and how it causes disease and symptoms and horrible symptoms.